Okay, so get this, Evo2. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, it's really got people talking.
It's not just like another AI, right? It's being called this Genome Foundation model.
Right.
And it's got scientists buzzing, like really buzzing,
Yeah.
We're talking about the potential to design life, like literally write the code of life, not just, read it.
It's incredible.
Ready to have your mind blown.
I think so. Let's see.
I think so too.
Well, what's fascinating to me is that Evo 2, it's not just a step forward. It's like a massive leap.
Okay.
Remember Evo 1?
Yeah.
Groundbreaking for its time, for sure, but limited. It was limited to single-cell organisms.
Right.
Think of it like a blurry picture, just the glimpse into that world.
Right. Like trying to understand a whole library from like a single sentence.
Exactly. Okay, so Evo 2 has a wider lens.
Way wider. We're talking 9.3 trillion nucleotides analyzed from 128,000 species.
Wow. So that means Evo 2 has been trained on the entire tree of life. Bacteria, archaea, you name it.
Wow.
From the simplest to the most complex organisms.
Okay, so it's got this massive database of like life's instruction manual.
Yes.
But what can it do with that? We're not just talking about like reading genes anymore, right?
No, not even close. Evo 2 can design DNA sequences.
Design.
Imagine being able to create new genetic code with specific functions, almost like programming,
Okay.
but for biology.
Well, back up. Design, like from scratch.
Yeah.
That feels straight out of science fiction.
I know.
Are there examples of what it's actually done?
Yeah, there are. The research highlights 3 specific design tasks.
Okay.
One was designing a mitochondrial genome. A mitochondria.
Yeah.
The powerhouses of our cells responsible for energy production.
Right.
Designing one is incredibly complex. It's like trying to blueprint a miniature power plant.
Okay, that's mind-blowing. What else?
They also tackled Mycoplasma genitalium. It's got a tiny genome, so scientists use it to study the bare minimum needed for life.
Right.
And Evo 2 successfully designed a functional genome for this bacterium, so it's proving it can handle the basics.
Okay, so starting small, but it didn't stop there.
Oh, no. They went on to design a yeast chromosome.
Okay.
Now, yeast is a eukaryote, much more complex than bacteria.
Right.
This design even included things like introns, those non-coding sequences within genes.
Okay.
So Evo 2 isn't just about simple organisms, it's tackling the complexity of higher life forms.
This is incredible. It's like we were talking about like the next level of genetic engineering, going from like tweaking what exists to creating entirely new genetic code.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
And there's more.
Well, there's more.
The researchers have developed a workflow for generative epigenomics.
Okay.
Essentially, it's like designing DNA sequences that can control how genes are turned on or off. Imagine like a dimmer switch for your genes.
Okay.
You can fine-tune their expression.
Gotta admit, epigenomics kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
But that dimmer switch analogy, I get it. So Evo 2 can basically write instructions for how genes behave.
Exactly. It's a whole new level of precision and control. And they're already planning to test these designs in mouse cells.
Oh, wow. This is just the tip of the iceberg, isn't it?
Yeah.
This could have implications for so many fields. Like, where do we even begin?
Well, let's start with healthcare. One promising area is predicting disease-causing mutations.
Okay.
Evo 2 achieved over 90% accuracy predicting mutations in the BRCA1 gene. The one associated with breast and ovarian cancer risk.
Right.
That level of accuracy could revolutionize early detection and prevention.
That's huge. So it's not just theoretical. It's already showing incredible potential in like a really critical area.
Absolutely. And remember, Evo 2 can analyze both coding and non-coding mutations. It's even outperforming DeepMind's AlphaMisSense, another really powerful AI model.
Wow. It's like we're witnessing a whole new era of genomics unfolding before our eyes. And it's not just about predicting mutations, right? This deeper understanding could lead to, like, incredible breakthroughs in how we treat diseases.
Absolutely. Think about it. If we know the exact genetic mechanisms behind a disease, we can develop targeted therapies that address the root cause. Personalized medicine will become so much more precise.
It's like going from treating symptoms to actually rewiring the problem at the source.
Exactly.
That's the dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
Personalized, precise treatments tailored to your unique genetic makeup.
It is. And it doesn't stop there. Think about agriculture. We could use Evo 2 to design crops that are more resilient, maybe even create crops with higher yields and improve nutritional content.
Wow, this can have ripple effects everywhere. But wait, you mentioned other fields too, right? like material science.
Yeah, imagine designing biomaterials with unique properties. Stronger, lighter, biodegradable. The possibilities are almost endless.
Okay, this is blowing my mind. Evo 2 really feels like it could touch like every aspect of our lives.
It really does. And this brings up a really interesting point. Dr. Su from the ARC Institute put forward this idea of a biological app store.
A biological app store?
Yeah, Evo 2 is being released open source. So the idea is that researchers could build upon its capabilities, creating specialized tools for specific applications.
Wait, so like researchers could essentially like download and use these tools all powered by Evo 2.
Exactly. This open source approach could completely accelerate research in countless fields.
Wow.
And speaking of accelerating research, there's one project that's really captured my imagination.
Oh.
The ARC Institute is aiming to construct a virtual cell using Evo 2.
A virtual cell, like a fully functional digital model of a living cell.
Exactly. It would be like having a window into the inner workings of a cell, down to the molecular level. We could test drugs and therapies in this virtual environment, observe their effects without needing physical experiments.
That's incredible. We could speed up drug development, reduce costs, maybe even eliminate the need for animal testing in many cases.
And imagine the insights we'd gain. We could understand how diseases develop at a cellular level, identify new drug targets, and develop treatments that are so much more effective.
This feels like science fiction becoming reality. But surely building a virtual cell that's got to be a massive undertaking. What are the biggest challenges there?
Oh, absolutely. It's like trying to recreate a bustling city, inside a computer. The sheer amount of data involved is mind-boggling. We're talking about simulating every molecule, every interaction, every process that occurs within a living cell.
So it's not just about having enough computing power. We need the right models and algorithms to capture like the complexity of life.
Exactly. And we need data from everywhere. Genomics, protein structures, cellular pathways, everything. It's like assembling a giant jigsaw puzzle with pieces from all areas of biology.
This is an incredible challenge. But with Evo 2 and, the advances in computational biology, maybe it's not as far-fetched as it sounds.
I agree. We've already come so far, and with tools like Evo 2, the virtual cell project feels like a real possibility.
This is also inspiring. It feels like we're at a convergence of biology, computer science, and engineering, and it's going to revolutionize our understanding of life and our ability to treat diseases.
We are truly entering a new era in science. And what makes it even more remarkable is the responsibility and foresight shown by the ARC Institute. They're not just focused on the technical achievements, they're engaging with the ethical considerations, making Evo 2 open source, encouraging collaboration, and promoting transparency.
That's so important. With such powerful technology comes a responsibility to use it wisely. And it sounds like they're taking that very seriously.
They are, and that gives me hope that we can harness this power for good, for the benefit of all humankind.
This has been an incredible journey so far. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive into Evo 2, I want to take a moment to reflect on the vast potential we've uncovered. These new possibilities are incredibly exciting.
I completely agree. Evo 2 is pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible in biology. It's like we've been handed a set of tools that allow us to not just understand life, but to actually shape it. What possibilities have stood out to you so far?
It's hard to choose just one, honestly. I think the idea of a virtual cell is just mind-blowing.
It really is.
Can you imagine the possibilities if we could actually simulate a living cell in a computer?
Yeah.
It could transform drug discovery, help us understand diseases at a whole new level.
Right. It's like the ultimate scientific tool.
Exactly.
But I'm also really intrigued by the potential of Evo 2 in fields like agriculture, designing crops that can withstand climate change, produce higher yields.
Right, yeah.
It could revolutionize our food systems.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about material science. The ability to design biomaterials with specific properties could lead to innovations we haven't even imagined yet. Lighter, stronger, more sustainable materials. The implications are huge.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think that we're moving from understanding the code of life to actually writing it. It's like a whole new era of biology. But it's also a bit daunting, right? I mean, we're talking about incredibly powerful technology.
I agree. And that's why the ethical considerations are so crucial. The ARC Institute's commitment to open source development and transparency is incredibly important. It means that the scientific community as a whole can participate in shaping the future of this technology.
Yeah, that's really reassuring. It's not just like one company or one group of scientists making all the decisions. It's a collective effort.
Right.
But still, this power to design life, it raises so many questions.
It does, and we need to have open and honest conversations about those questions. How do we ensure that this technology is used responsibly? How do we prevent unintended consequences? How do we make sure it benefits all of humanity, not just the select few?
Those are big questions, and there are no easy answers. But I'm glad that those conversations are happening. It's a sign that we're approaching this new era with, the seriousness it deserves. We're not just like blindly charging ahead. We're thinking about the implications, the potential risks, and the ethical challenges.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the things that makes the ARC Institute's work so impressive. They're not just focused on the scientific breakthroughs, they're actively engaging with the ethical dimensions as well.
Right. You mentioned earlier that the virtual cell project really captured your imagination. Why is that?
Well, I think it's the potential for truly understanding how life works, like at the most fundamental level. Imagine being able to model the interactions of every molecule in a cell, to see how those interactions lead to complex functions, to understand the mechanisms of disease. It's like having a microscope that can zoom in to the tiniest details of life.
It's like being able to see the inner workings of a watch, but the watch is a living cell. Incredible.
Yeah.
But as you said before, building a virtual cell is a massive undertaking. What are some of the biggest hurdles they'll need to overcome?
Well, the complexity is almost unimaginable. Cells are dynamic, constantly changing and adapting. Capturing that level of complexity in a computer model is a huge challenge.
Right.
And then there's the sheer amount of data. We're talking about simulating the behavior of millions, even billions of molecules.
Wow. So it's not just about having powerful computers. It's about developing new algorithms, new ways of thinking about and representing biological systems.
Exactly. We need models that can handle the complexity, the dynamism, the sheer scale of cellular processes. And we need to integrate data from so many different sources.
Yeah.
Genomics, proteomics, metabolomics, and more.
It's like a multidisciplinary effort. Biologists, computer scientists, engineers, they'll all need to work together to make this vision a reality.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that makes this project so exciting. It's pushing the boundaries of what's possible, not just in biology, but in science as a whole.
Yeah, it's like a grand scientific adventure with the potential to, unlock some of life's greatest mysteries.
I agree.
And it's all being powered by this incredible new tool, Evo 2. What are your hopes for the future of this technology? What impact do you think it could have in the long run?
Well, I hope it helps us address some of the world's most pressing challenges. From developing new treatments for diseases to creating more sustainable food systems, the potential is immense. But I think it goes even deeper than that. Evo 2 is changing the way we think about life itself. It's giving us the tools to understand and shape life in ways we never thought possible.
It's like we're at a turning point in our relationship with biology. We're moving from observation and analysis to creation and design. It's an exciting and potentially transformative time to be alive.
I couldn't agree more, and I'm so curious to see what new discoveries and innovations will emerge from this new era of biological exploration.
This deep dive has been incredible so far. The possibilities with Evo 2 are vast and truly mind-boggling. Before we wrap up our final thoughts, I just want to take a moment to let all of this sink in. What about you?
Yeah, it's a lot to wrap your head around. We're talking about designing life, building virtual cells, a whole new era of biology, powered by AI. It's exciting, but also kind of overwhelming,
It is, yeah.
All at the same time. So where does this all lead? What does it mean for, the future?
It's like we're standing at the edge of a new frontier, I think. Evo 2 is kind of giving us a glimpse into possibilities that we could only dream of before.
Yeah.
But it also raises some pretty profound questions, like if we can design life,
right,
what does that tell us about what life is?
Whoa, now that's getting into some deep philosophical territory. Are we just machines made of molecules? Or is there something more to life that we can't fully grasp yet?
Well, Evo 2 may not answer those questions directly.
Right, but it gives us new tools to explore them. Imagine being able to create synthetic organisms in a lab,
right,
designed from scratch. We could study how they behave, how they evolve, how they interact with their environment.
Right.
It would be like having a living laboratory,
Yeah.
to probe the fundamental mysteries of life.
That's incredible. It's like we could rewrite the rules of biology, or at least understand them in a way we never have before.
Exactly. And think about the potential for understanding life beyond Earth. If you can design life here,
Right.
could we use that knowledge to recognize life in forms we haven't even imagined, maybe even on other planets?
Yeah. It's like expanding our definition of life itself.
Yeah,
Wow. This is so much bigger than just like a new technology,
I think so.
It's a whole new way of thinking about like our place in the universe.
It truly is. And it's all thanks to the incredible ingenuity and dedication of scientists who are pushing the boundaries of knowledge.
It's inspiring to think about all the possibilities that Evo 2 is like unlocking,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also, it's a bit awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
Even a little scary. We're
Yeah.
talking about like a level of power that we've never had before.
Yeah, you're right. There's always a sense of awe and even apprehension when we enter uncharted territory.
Right.
But I believe that with careful consideration and a strong ethical compass, we can navigate these new frontiers responsibly.
It all goes back to responsibility, doesn't it?
It does.
It's up to us to ensure that this technology is used for good, to solve problems and improve lives. We need to have those tough conversations, about ethics, about potential risks, about like the kind of future we want to create.
I agree. The future of this technology, and maybe even the future of biology itself, depends on our collective wisdom and foresight. We need to approach it with both excitement and caution, embracing the incredible possibilities while acknowledging the potential pitfalls.
This deep dive into Evo 2 has been a truly mind-expanding experience. We've gone from the basics of genome foundation models to designing life, building virtual cells, and even pondering the nature of life itself.
It has been a fascinating journey, and I hope it's sparked your imagination as much as it has mine.
If you're anything like me, you're probably still processing all of this. The implications are so vast, the potential is so incredible, but one thing is clear. Evo 2 is a game changer. It's a powerful new tool that has the potential to reshape our world in ways we can only begin to imagine. And it's up to all of us to ensure that we use this power wisely for the benefit of humanity and the planet. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Evo 2, the technology that's rewriting the code of life.